Chapter 2, Lesson 2, Complementary and Supplementary Angles by Kieran Beckham. Our objective after starting this chapter is to be able to recognize complementary and supplementary angles. The definition of a complementary angle are two angles whose sum is 90 degrees. Each of the two angles is called the complement of each other. So, for example, angle A and angle B are complementary because they add up to 90 degrees. Angle C is complementary to angle E because they add up to 90 degrees. And angle FGJ is the complement of angle JGH because they add up to 90 degrees. The definition of a supplementary angle are two angles whose sum is 180 degrees, which is a straight angle. Each of the two angles is called the supplement of the other. These are examples of supplementary angles. Angle J and angle K are supplementary because they add up to 180 degrees. Here's our problem. We're given the diagram, which is shown on the right, and we have to conclude that angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2. So our first statement would be that the diagram is shown, which would be given. Second, we would say that angle ABC is a straight angle because we can assume that from the diagram because point A, point B, and point C are collinear. Our third statement is our conclusion, which is that angle 1 is supplementary to angle 2. And we can tell this because if the sum of two angles is a straight angle, then they are supplementary. So the sum of angle 1 and angle 2 forms the straight angle of angle ABC.
Section 2.3, Drawing Conclusions. The objective of this section is to follow a 5-step procedure to draw logical conclusions. The first part of this 5-step procedure that will help you draw conclusions says to memorize theorems, definitions, and postulates. The second step says to look for keywords and symbols in the given information. The third step is to think of all the theorems, definitions, and postulates that involve those keys. The fourth step is to decide which theorem, definition, or postulate allows you to draw a conclusion. The fifth step is to draw a conclusion and give a reason to justify the conclusion. You must be certain that you have not used the reverse of the correct reason. We are given that ray AB bisects angle CAD. The key word in this is bisects. The symbols are ray and angle. And we know that the definition of a bisector of an angle contains those keys, which are ray and angle. An appropriate conclusion is that angle CAB is congruent to angle DAB. Our statements are ray AB bisects angle CAD. That is our given. Then we get angle C, which means angle CAB is congruent to angle DAB, because if a ray bisects an angle, then it divides the angle into two congruent angles. The if part of the reason matches the given information, and the then part matches the conclusion being justified. We must be sure not to reverse that order. Problem 1. We're given that angle A is a right angle and angle B is a right angle. This means that since they are both right angles, we conclude that angle A and B are congruent. Our reason is if two angles are right angles, then they are congruent. We're given that angle PRS is a right angle. That means we can conclude that since it's a right angle, lines PR and lines RS are perpendicular. Our reasoning is if two lines intersect to form a right angle, they are perpendicular.